came in, I remember being very unsure, uncertain of what to expect in the government service. And I came into the data entry room and found mostly ladies. I think one gentleman was employed in data and records department. That's why I first came in. And being uncertain as to what exactly I'm supposed to be doing, I came in as a cadet. And based on my understanding of what a cadet is, I was supposed to basically learn everything with an aim to get promoted later within 2 years. My contract was for 2 years, and so basically to learn as much as possible and then to become the executive officer, which is the next post, grade 7. I was grade 4 and the salary was $1,409 monthly. I knew at the time that I came in, I knew I had a 2-year contract. Once I performed well enough, I would have gone up to a grade 7. So I know that at the end of 2 years, I would be getting a promotion and my salary would almost double. Because grade 7, from grade 4 to grade 7, would almost be doubling my salary. So I knew all I had to do was to do it right, do what is expected of me, or well, basically do beyond what is expected. But it did not happen in the 2 years. For whatever reason, there was not an open executive officer position waiting for me, so I had to wait till there was a vacancy. So it took me a bit over 2 years. It took me about 2.5 years, and then I got there. And I was placed in a different unit. So initially I was in the data entry room or data and record section, but then I was then transferred to another unit where I worked on the reclassification of positions in the government service. There was a huge reclassification exercise going on, and I remember my role was basically to verify the data from the various government departments that was coming into the establishment unit, and to make sure that the correct data is entered and the correct spelling of names and all of that. Well, when you go to A-level college, you know it's an entry level for university. So my aim was always to go to university. I remember being in primary school and always doing very well at my exams. And basically, I got the idea of university, going to university from there, because people would tell me, basically, you should just go to a university because you're always top in the class, or you're always doing so well. So in my mind, university, I was heading to university from very young. I had the potential, so it's just a matter of doing it. When I returned, I was sent to the training division. The training division of the Ministry of, at the time it was called Personnel Establishment. It was Planning, Personnel Establishment and Training. And so I ended up in training, and training to me was a good fit. It felt like home. I found the most excellent staff you can work with, and training has a nurturing type of atmosphere, and I had to me one of the best supervisors you can get in the government service, Miss Century. I mean, she rests in peace because she's gone now. Then we had people like Mr. Dupal, Vername, everybody in training had their role, and then they welcomed you. It made you feel like you were part of a family. But sometime in between, maybe a year or so after I graduated from university, returning to training, there was a change in administration. That was my first change in administration, where the Labour Party came into office. And that was a bit different. My first time experiencing it, so in my view, it felt a bit different in the sense that they had a different vision, a different plan for the country, and so we had to adapt to whatever that new plan is. I spent about 12 years in Ministry of Education. The first 10 years was in HRD, where I continued going up the ranks until I became the director of HRD. The administration changed again, and then what happened, we had to what should I call it? The merger I should say, of the public sector training and the HRD department, almost like a recreation of training division. But then, you know, when things split, they can never come back together in the same way it was. So HRD, we did a lot of good things. And I met people like Leviticus Jules, who was the permanent secretary at education at the time, and who was a strategic planner, a visionary person, or someone with a big vision, a big plan for his country. And I was able to understand that vision. I wanted to be part of it. And I saw HRD as having a critical role in creating a labor market that reflects the needs of the country. When I was DPS to the ministry, I realized that Home Affairs has an advantage in the way the structure of the organization is, in that we have various divisions or departments that fall within Home Affairs, and we had competent, skilled, highly competent, skilled, qualified individuals heading those divisions. And those divisions were basically the fire service, where there was a chief fire officer who basically was empowered under an act and had autonomy to do everything to do with fire. Then we had the Commissioner of Police, who was so empowered under the Police Act. And we had the Director of Corrections similarly. So, and then of course we had the Probation and Parole Unit, which also had several legislation that guided what they do. So as the person at the top, it was just a matter of coordinating the efforts and relying on those key individuals. So though the task was difficult, I realized I have to work in partnership with my heads. So that's what I did. Well, I see the political aspect of the agency has been almost like a staple for public service because of the nature of what it is. I mean, you work in government, and government involves a political directorate. That is what the Constitution of St. Lucia is about. We operate under a kind of British colonial system, and I did, in my studies, I understand exactly what that meant. And so I had to work with it, adapt to it. I know the ministers come with their policies and they want to ensure that the constituents get, you know, the best out of the system. And so I worked with my ministers. I always find out from my minister how best I can serve you. What can I do to help you achieve your goals? And that's what I feel the role of a PS is. Besides being the administrative head of the ministry and ensuring that all of the administrative and legal obligations are met as the accounting officer, you also have to work very closely with the minister to ensure the minister meets his goals, because he represents the constituent, the people that we serve, and basically we exist to serve the people. Don't expect to get rich. The reward you will get will not be monetary, it will be in satisfaction. So have a mindset that you come in to serve. And with service, you will never get paid enough. So serve to your best of your ability, do your mark where you can. You can help people. The greater reward for you awaits you somewhere else, not in the government service. So the pay is never enough, but it's a great place to work once you make the most of what's available to you. As a public officer, there are opportunities that you can get. I mean, besides promotions, you can get training, you can get, I almost travel the world, you know, attending meetings and taking part in very, very critical decisions on behalf of the government. And if you can represent your country in that way, what better way than to represent your country? I'd say thank you tremendously. I would not have been able to do it without you. I rely on the person as small in the organization as the cleaner all the way to the top, because the cleaner would keep my environment clean for me and make me comfortable. I rely on my accountant to make sure the payments go through at the right time and everybody gets paid. I rely on my minister to give me advice. I rely on everyone in the organization. They have a role to play, and without them, I I would not have been able to be so successful. And the partners out there who work with us, we have foreign governments, we have the permanent secretaries, we have the directors, heads of departments. If they don't play their part, we cannot be successful as PhDs. So each one had to play their part for me to be successful. So I'd say thank you very much to them for playing their part and for allowing me to achieve the goals that I was able to achieve today.